You're already aware of what it is you need to do, aren't you? It's the knowledge of it that's truly the hard part. It's not that you're clueless, far from it. You're entirely aware of what it is that you should be doing. You can already envision the end product. You can almost taste the satisfaction of having completed it, but then you don't. You reach for your phone. You distract yourself with something trivial. You promise yourself that you'd begin after just one more thing, then one more. And before you know it, you're stuck in a loop of scrolling, snacking, and pretending to be busy until the day simply vanishes. And what's left? It's that familiar, heavy feeling. That quiet voice that whispers, why can't I just do it? Here's a revelation. That voice is asking the wrong question. Procrastination isn't about time management, laziness, or discipline. Research by neuroscientists and behavioral psychologists reveals that procrastination is an emotional regulation issue. Let that sink in. When you put off a task, it's not the work you're avoiding, but the feelings it brings up. Fear of failure, anxiety about where to begin, boredom, frustration, or the nagging thought that your work might not be up to par. These feelings register as threats in your brain, and instinctively it redirects you towards something more pleasant. That's not weakness, it's survival. Dr. Fusher Cyrus, a leading researcher on this subject, found that chronic procrastinators don't lack motivation. They struggle with managing negative emotions related to tasks. Avoidance offers temporary relief, but it comes at a price. The task remains, now accompanied by guilt, shame, and the burden of another day unfulfilled. The cycle deepens. Intriguingly, even high achievers struggle with this. They experience the same resistance, the same pull towards distraction, the same emotional turmoil when facing difficult tasks. The difference isn't that they don't feel these things, but how they react when they do. James Clear, who has extensively studied the habits of exceptional individuals, observed that they don't rely on motivation, nor do they wait for perfect conditions. They've built systems that make getting started as easy as possible, because they understand the most brutal truth about the human brain. Starting is the toughest part. Just as physics has the concept of activation energy, the initial push needed to start a reaction, your mind operates similarly. The resistance felt before a task is typically greater than during it. Once you dive in, your brain adapts, focus sharpens, and you can access a flow state. Suddenly, what seemed impossible 5 minutes ago now has momentum. High performers leverage this. They make the starting point so simple, it's almost laughable. David Goggins, known for pushing his mind and body to unthinkable extremes, puts it plainly: don't negotiate with yourself. Don't question whether you feel like it. Just commence. Even if it's only for 5 minutes. A single sentence, one repetition, one email. Because the feeling follows the action, not the other way around. It's also important to understand the role of self-perception in this. Psychologists find that chronic procrastinators often tie their self-worth too closely to performance. Starting a task feels like impending judgment. Part of the brain would rather not play than risk defeat. High performers, on the other hand, separate their identity from individual results. They view themselves not by their achievements, but by their resilience to show up. The writer who writes, even when uninspired. The athlete who trains, even when the season seems far off. They've built an identity that makes taking action feel natural, not threatening. This shift in identity is subtle. It's not dramatic, but it changes everything. So, what does this mean for you? It means that when you find yourself avoiding an important task, don't ask yourself, why am I like this? Instead, ask, what feeling am I trying to avoid right now? Identify it. Sit with it for a moment. Then make the first step so small it's almost impossible to skip. Don't aim to conquer the entire task. Just lower the activation energy. Just start. Because the science and stories of every high performer who has ever pushed past resistance all lead to the same conclusion. The people who consistently do great things aren't the ones who never procrastinate. They're the ones who stopped waiting to feel ready.